Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your Jis News for October 31. Government will be fast-tracking legislation to formally adopt the National Building Code into law to eradicate housing construction in flood-prone areas. Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller gave the update in a statement to Parliament on Tuesday as she addressed the effects and relief efforts associated with Hurricane Sandy. Mrs. Simpson-Miller reiterated her call for a revision of the building code and regulations and decried the construction of houses in hazardous areas.
And I really feel we should legislate to ensure that there are certain areas that no one will be able to put up not even a shack.
In the meantime, the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, has received an additional $15 million to assist in the cleanup exercise post-Hurricane Sandy. The Chase Fund will also be providing money to help the agency. As it relates to the country's infrastructure, the government will be using the emergency procurement procedures to hire contractors to carry out repairs.
$700 million is needed for temporary restoration works and just under $800 million for permanent restoration works. All in all, we are talking about, as a preliminary estimate, a total amount of just under $2.6 billion.
So far, Jamaica has received pledges from the governments of Japan, Germany and France, the United States Agency for International Development USAID, and the Caribbean Disaster and Emergency Management Agency. Locally, the National Health Fund will help finance the repairs to health facilities. And the government is thinking of readjusting its expenditure program to deal with the effects of Hurricane Sandy. Minister of Finance, Planning and the Public Service, Dr. Peter Phillips, made the announcement while addressing questions in Parliament on Tuesday.
There is really no more money in the pool. And all that would mean is that unless we are able to receive grants, then it would mean that we would either have to borrow more, which is not a feasible option in the circumstance, or we have to reorganize our expenditures.
Even as efforts continue to help the agriculture sector recover from the battering of Hurricane Sandy, the Agriculture Ministry recently began an initiative to protect crops from the dreaded beet armyworm. The ministry signed a $19 million two-year technical cooperation agreement with the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO. Portfolio Minister Roger Clark says it initiates sustained action to reduce the impact of the pest on scallion, onion, and other crop productions.
The Technical Cooperation Program will provide training in monitoring and surveillance and best practices in chemical applications. The program will benefit directly some 1,000 small farmers from Petra Plains, Flagaman, and a much larger group along the value chain employed in processing, packaging, and the wholesale and retail trade.
Government has received another commendation for its use of technology to make Jamaica more business-friendly. President of Fraser Fontaine and the Kong Insurance Brokers, Gerard Fontaine, says electronic business has enhanced the commercial environment by increasing efficiency and reducing errors.
I have to applaud the government in trying to push e-business. It is the way to go. The banking sector has responded wonderfully by allowing interbank transactions.
Mr. Fontaine was speaking at a recent JIS think tank session where he announced plans to host a charity event for the benefit of the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and the Jamaica Cancer Society. Fraser, Fontaine and Kong will be donating between $1.2 and $1.5 million to the Heart Foundation and the Cancer Society. And finally, the puppet troupe of the Jiangsu Performing Arts Group from China is now on a tour in Jamaica. The puppet troupe hosted its first show earlier today at the University of the West Indies. The internationally acclaimed group of 12 arrived in Kingston Tuesday afternoon on government's invitation to celebrate the 40th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Jamaica and China. The troupe's performance series continues at the Chinese Benevolent Association Thursday before heading to Montego Bay. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.